On Seattle Refined.
Oh, yes, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
The lost art of letter writing gets a shot in the arm.
It's such a good feeling to receive something in the mail.
Purple today.
Meet the local woman encouraging people to go retro by putting pen to paper.
Truffle, let's go home.
Then it's the kind of stuff that keeps dog lovers up at night.
My number one question that dog owners ask is, why does my boy dog not lift his leg to pee?
Seattle's very own dog whisperer tells all. Plus, biscuits, anyone?
It feels like a treat, but I kind of convince myself that it's healthy because there's strawberries in it.
We take a bite out of a food truck, taking an American classic to the next level. Seattle Refined starts now. Hey everybody, welcome to Seattle Refined. I'm Gart Swanson, coming to you today from Fisherman's Terminal. Man, it is beautiful out here. Well, Seattleites love their dogs, but even the best pup sometimes will do something that makes its owner scratch their head and ask, why did my dog do that? From jumping up on guests to snarling at the mailman, it's not always easy to get inside the head of man's best friend, unless, of course, you are Seattle's dog whisperer.
Come on, Truffle. So this is Truffle. He's about a year and a couple of months old. And we're working on jumping, impulse control, and recall.
Truffle is the newest addition to Ali Delacour's family.
Sit, Truffle, sit.
She's the founder of Why Does My Dog?, a website dedicated to dishing out simple tips and tricks on training, behavior, nutrition, and health.
We create bite-sized videos for your average dog owner to be able to understand and digest really easily. And then my part about it is I do the animal behavior and dog training part of it. So anything from basic obedience to, why does my dog do these weird things that they do?
Allie came over.
Courtney Blackburn recently met with Ali to help her with her dog Cooper.
She actually told me that collies are really smart dogs and suggested getting interactive toys. And so I got him a few interactive toys and have been teaching him a ton of new tricks. And since then, haven't had any issues with chewing on furniture.
Ali's interest in dog behavior began with her previous dog Duke, who was rescued. She quickly learned Duke had some very bad habits, including aggressive tendencies.
I kept watching things on TV and reading online on how to make him better, and I felt like instead of making him be a better dog, I was ruining our relationship with him. And that's kind of when I started doing a lot of research and looking at animal behavior to really understand what was causing his misbehavior. I thought maybe if I got to the root of why he was doing it and deal with that, then he'd be a better dog. And he became a much better dog so quickly, and people saw such a huge improvement in him that they kept asking me how to train their own dogs, and that's kind of where it started. Truffle, let's go home, come on! So I started doing a lot of research on animal behavior, different training methods, and I actually wound up going to University of Washington and got a certificate of applied animal behavior from them, from their PhD in applied animal behavior program.
Ali hopes her videos will give dog owners the help they need before spending hundreds of dollars on easy fixes.
I would come in and it was as simple as oh, well, what can I do to teach my dog to, not jump on people, not bark? How can I teach them to sit? Why does my dog do these weird things? And it's it didn't make sense to charge $500 just to answer a simple question. Yeah, I know, yeah. My number one question that dog owners ask is, why does my boy dog not lift his leg to pee? And it's very simple. So Truffle does not lift his leg because he's really young. It's a learned behavior.
At the end of the day, Ali says dogs have a lot in common with their owners.
Because every dog is so different. Some people will go the extra step and, get better educated and buy all the tools, versus some people, they can do very simple stuff. So it's kind of providing information that fits everybody equally.
Does your dog have some bad habits you'd like to change? We want to hear from you. Drop us a line at hello@seattlerefined.com and let us know why you need a visit from Ali, the dog whisperer. And if we like your story, you may find yourself featured on Seattle Refined. And don't forget to include a photo of you and your dog. All right, an update now on one of our other favorite pet superstars, Brimley the cat. We first visited with the Instagram sensation at his Tukwila home last year and got the scoop on his rags to riches story. Brimley was rescued from a breeder in 2014 who had sewn the cat's eyes shut in order to avoid costly surgery stemming from an infection. Rescuers suspected Brimley might lose his sight in one or both of his eyes. Well, we are happy to report Brimley just had his annual eye exam and received a clean bill of health. For more Brimley updates, check out his Instagram page. Combine the ice cream man with a pop-up restaurant and you'll sort of get the idea behind the letter farmer. The mobile business has one goal: to encourage folks to rediscover the joy of letter writing. And as Refine discovered, it is sowing the seeds of a lost art.
I'm writing to my parents.
She probably hasn't gotten personal letters for 30 years either. I mean, I don't remember the last time I've gotten one.
When was the last time you wrote a letter?
Probably 30 years ago. I mean, an actual letter.
In the heart of Pioneer Square, people are putting down their phones and putting pen to paper.
There's always that, well, what is this? And then it almost takes them a minute to just kind of go, it's so it feels out of context. And I love that kind of jarring. You might want to sit down for this one.
Rachel calls herself the letter farmer.
My idea has always been, how do we make letter writing stay alive and have it be a fun experience?
She drives around this big red van, hoping to inspire people to reach out to loved ones, the old-fashioned way.
The experience of receiving a letter is as important as the writing part. And I think there's something to our voice when we put pen to paper. That we're not being auto-corrected and we don't have an emoji to pick, and you know, you kind of have to dig a little deeper and really express yourself. So, welcome. So I decided to pick a variety of artists. I don't have just one company, so I really have tried to have something for everybody. I then carry a variety of humorous cards as well. Since you're not on social media, you're basically forcing me to send you a note.
Josh is writing his sister a letter.
I love her, and I wanted to let her know that I'm thinking of her. But I think the whole concept of letter writing as an activity is almost gone in our society. And I love the fact that, you know, there's still that option that we have in terms of communication, write a letter.
I love this. I've been in the truck when people who are, let's just say in their early 20s, are gathering stationery and talking about how their parents used to correspond, writing letters to each other.
Rachel says the red van is open to everyone, including the homeless, who haven't talked to family in years.
I've had many of them sit and write, and I can help them look up an address if they don't know it, whether it's being here and having the homeless write or a regular group of people who come by and write at lunchtime. It's been just probably one of the most satisfying experiences professionally that I've ever had.
To learn more about where you can catch up with the letter farmer, log on to SeattleRefined.com. Seattle Refined is just getting started. We get the tricks of the biscuit biz.
I think we've really perfected that soft and ooey on the inside with that perfect toasted brown and a little bit of crunch on the outside.
Admit it, she had you at soft and gooey. But first,
I have this urge to express my love to the world. Like, it's an inherent urge in me.
a Seattle man going the extra mile to make the city a bit more beautiful, one can of spray paint at a time.
What makes...
Welcome back to Seattle Refined. I'm Gart Swanson. My old high school drama teacher, I'm not kidding, used to always tell me there are no small parts, only small actors. But when it comes to making public art, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say bigger is better.
Just about everywhere you look around Seattle, there are big, bright murals beautifying the city. A giant goldfish greets you on Nickerson. There's a fox at Flatstick Pub, and athletic animals grace the walls of Adams Elementary School.
I'm gonna change this guy's whole color. I'm gonna make him orange.
They're all from the imagination of Henry the artist. His work was actually hanging in a gallery when the cook next door proposed a deal.
The cook who was at the restaurant asked me if I could do some murals to cover up some stuff on their walls. And I said, yeah, and he traded me for food and a beer tab.
That was just the beginning.
Yeah, this is coming on my 10th year right now, and I've done 222 in Seattle.
Henry handed his spray paint can to Seattle Refined and gave us a few pointers on making a mural.
Is that too light?
No, that's great.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah. So then you can go right back over the top of it.
This is really
And-
fun.
Yeah.
I can see why you like this.
Yeah, spray paint's a lot of fun. It brings out that little, like, little kid in you, you know.
In garages and by swimming pools, on doors and buildings. The city is this artist's canvas, and he gets commissions to paint it.
And there's so much public art in the world that doesn't appeal towards a good majority of the public, but like I want to make public art that like to me, I consider a 5-year-old a part of the public. I think my art talks to them, you know, communicates to them, they see it and they can have a relationship with it, and it can change how they perceive the world they live in.
His whimsical work is where Dr. Seuss meets Picasso.
Do you see all this in your head before you put it on your canvas?
I have a very visual imagination, so I see a lot in my mind in a very visual way. When I close my eyes, it's very, there's a world I see, and I pull these things from that world.
There's something so happy about his art. But Henry's colorful world went dark after the death of his brother.
And when someone that close to you dies, there's this emptiness in you, you know, that like I'd never really felt. And I feel like doing my art and public art and things like that would kind of like help kind of heal that process. I have this sense that he's here and watching me from a different realm, and like what would make him proud and excited and stoked, like, oh wow, my brother's doing it.
Impacted by a heartbreaking loss, but still full of love, murals may be the only medium big enough for this larger-than-life artist.
I have this urge to express my love to the world. Like it's an inherent urge in me to like give out and express love, and you know, and I think my murals are a really good medium for doing that.
To learn more about Henry the Artist, log on to our Facebook page. We love to celebrate artists here on Seattle Refined. Every week on our website, we feature something we like to call Artist of the Week. From the abstract to the avant-garde and everything in between, we want to know what creative minds in our region are up to. Check out our artist profiles on SeattleRefined.com. And if you know someone you'd like to nominate for Artist of the Week, drop us a line at hello@SeattleRefined.com.
Rotterdam over Amsterdam, because Amsterdam is too busy.
Still to come, Refined takes a trip to Rotterdam. Welcome back to Refined. I'm Gard Swanson. Well, you know what? We consider ourselves food truck connoisseurs here on Refined. From fish and chips to crepes to fried chicken, we have tried almost everything there is to eat out of a mobile chow wagon. But we have to admit, we somehow never ran into a biscuit truck before, until now. Washington-grown's Christy Goranson headed to the Seattle University campus to take a bite out of the Biscuit Box.
The Biscuit Box travels all around Seattle, selling biscuits topped with sweet and savory options. So whether you're looking for a filling Beecher's ham and cheese biscuit or a raspberry jam-topped one for a sweet treat, the mind behind this food truck, Michelle Claire, says there's something for you.
How did Biscuit Box come about? Like, what made you think biscuits?
Well, we didn't want to make just your basic biscuit. We wanted to make smothered biscuits. So something different from your basic Sunday brunch biscuits and gravy. We wanted to take it up a notch because we feature all of our local farmers, and we wanted to try and give a flavor and a flair to all of the producers that we've met over the years.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a showcase then.
It is.
What would you do without all of the local food that you can use?
Well, we would be just another food truck, right?
But they aren't just an ordinary food truck, and customers know it.
It's like the place during the week when this little like truck is here. We usually like come and check to see if it's here before we go to the cafeteria.
Why do you keep coming back?
Because their biscuits are delicious and I can't stay away. I feel like they're really like buttery and like soft, but the outsides are like crispy. It's like the perfect crunch to dive into.
It feels like a treat, but I kind of like convince myself that it's like healthy because there's strawberries in it. So
I think we've really perfected that soft and ooey on the inside with that perfect toasted brown and a little bit of crunch on the outside.
Sounds delicious.
It's to die for.
Yeah.
We just kind of find the sweet spot right there in the middle, and then you take this nice melted butter, give it a nice little wipe there.
This is decadent.
And then we're gonna kind of cascade it right down the side of the biscuit.
Fresh raspberries.
Yeah, made today.
What is in this with the raspberries? Is it
nature's best? Berries and sugar.
Berries and sugar.
Go ahead, dig on in.
All right, let's try this.
Cheers.
So good. Cheers. Delicious. Those raspberries are so ripe and perfect.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And that biscuit, I like how it's a little crunchy on the outside and super flaky on the inside. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tune in to Seattle Refined every Wednesday for more stories from our partners at Washington Grown. We'll be right back, but first, this refined, shareable moment of the day. Calling all up-and-coming designers hoping for a big break. Apply now to compete in the Independent Designer Runway Show. It's part of Fashion Week at the Bellevue Collection. Your designs will be featured on the runway, and you could win a $5,000 prize package. The application deadline is this Saturday, so act fast. Head to FashionWeekBellevue.com for more information. Welcome back to Refine. You know, it's true, we are a show about Seattle, but also love to use our passport occasionally and explore other cities around the U.S. and the globe. A few of us on the Refine staff have visited Amsterdam, but none of us had been to Rotterdam before or knew much about it until Seth Wayne gave us this VIP tour.
I'm at Starbucks right outside of Central Station. It's in the heart of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Many of us have explored Amsterdam, but what about Rotterdam? Let's go together and take a look.
This is Rick, our driver who's lived in Holland all of his life. His take on the big cities?
Rotterdam over Amsterdam, because Amsterdam is too busy.
We told him we wanted to see the highlights, so after crossing the Erasmus Bridge, it was off to the highest spot in town. Welcome to the Euromast. A ticket runs you $10 to the top.
So you get off the first set of elevators, guard, and we're nearly 300 feet up the Euromast, and you find yourself in the middle of a restaurant. And then you hop on board the Euromast. Look at this, 600 feet above the grounds of Rotterdam, and you get a complete view of the city. This is one thing, if you visit Rotterdam, you cannot miss.
Rotterdam is modern, given its old age. It's because the city was leveled in World War II. But a few buildings remain, including the Hotel New York, which was the original home to Holland America Line more than 100 years ago.
We try to keep it as authentic as possible, just to keep that atmosphere really special. The stained glass was here since the building was built. And all of the suitcases you see in our building were actually on board of the Holland America Line.
And from the hotel, you get great views of the ships passing along the Maas River. Rotterdam is the busiest port in all of Europe, so there's always something passing by. Shopping, another popular thing to do, and the streets of downtown Rotterdam are full of stores.
All right, so that does it here from Rotterdam, guard. Thank you. We are enjoying a specialty here in Holland. These are frites. We know them as French fries. And guess what? Very Seattle thing. They're organic too. But here's the difference. They serve it with a peanut butter sauce in Rotterdam. I've never had peanut butter and fries before. Pretty good. All right, fries. Waiting for you, guard. What's taking you so long to get here?
All right, that'll do it for today's show from Fisherman's Terminal. I'm Guard Swanson. We'll see you next time right here on Seattle Refined.